So it seems like the state of Star Wars games is drastically improving, and I think we're going to be eating good. Let me explain a little bit. Star Wars games have been a little bit in a rough patch for a minute. There haven't been too many of them. And then we have things like the Battlefront 2 debacle that just left a bad taste in some gamers' mouths. But with the recent news, with EA announcing a bunch of new Star Wars games that actually sound like they're potentially promising, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about Star Wars games because they're some of my favorite things ever. Star Wars is my favorite thing ever. I don't talk about it too much on the channel or on the internet anymore. I kind of like take it personally. I get weird about it, but the games, man, are something else. So EA kind of just made this weird blog post this week announcing that Respawn is making a bunch of new Star Wars games. They're making a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, of course, which we already kind of knew about. They're also making a strategy game. It's a partnership with BitReactor. That's like this smaller new team that was made up of some XCOM developers, which is pretty cool. And they're making a first-person shooter game. That seems good, especially coming off of the heels of Jedi Fallen Order, in my opinion, being a very good Star Wars game, coupled with the fact that now the licensing is opening up. The exclusivity isn't necessarily just for EA anymore. So we know that Quantic Dream is making a High Republic game called Star Wars Eclipse. We know that Ubisoft is working on a Star Wars game with some of the Division people, so whatever that's gonna end up being. And they're like completely remaking Knights of the Old Republic, which I just never expected. So this seems like we're getting to a place where we used to be. So I come from a time where Star Wars games were plentiful, man. Star Wars games flowed like water. And even the bad ones were still kind of good. You know, we had a lot of games and we had a lot of rough games from a period of like, I don't know, the 90s up until, right before the acquisition. It was pretty constant and we got so many gems. You know, there's the old school stuff. There's Dark Forces. There's Jedi Outcast. The weird stuff, some of the more licensed stuff like the Obi-Wan game and Jedi Power Battles, which is still one of my favorites. It's a lot of nostalgia. It's definitely aged not so well. Just like an endless supply of Starfighter games as well. Jedi Starfighter, all that types of stuff. Rebel Assault. Rebel Assault 2, another one of my favorite games, like an FMV-ass game. Then to the point where it was like when Twisted Metal games were really popular, they made a Star Wars one, Star Wars Demolition, and that was even really kind of cool and better than you'd expect, to the point where they had like kiddie kart racer Star Wars games, Super Bombad Racing, where you looked at that and you're like, that's gonna suck. And we played it and it was actually still kind of cool. So from that to the Pod Racer game, to Republic Commando, to KOTOR 1 and 2, there's just so many gems top to bottom from the very late 80s, early 90s, all the way up until, again, the acquisition that we were eating real good. And I think we might be getting to that point again because, number one, money talks. But number two, I think some of the people at Disney and Disney Gaming are realizing what they have. So they're making smart moves with Marvel and how, we're finally getting Marvel games and Marvel properties going to studios making cool things. Insomniac's making a Wolverine game. Granted, a lot of people weren't into the Avengers game, so there is still that. There's still going to be some things here and there, but on the Star Wars side, Star Wars projects are starting to go out to everybody now, and there's a lot of potential, so bear with me. I just want to go through it. So a strategy game, very cool. It's been a while. I think Galactic Battlegrounds is one I remember, but there was a handful. To the fact that they're making a first-person shooter, which is Respawn, and I think if anything with Respawn, they have first-person shooter mechanics down. You guys know how much I freaking love Titanfall 2. Apex Legends is also very good. I just bounce off of those types of games, but when it launched, love the hell out of it, love the way it plays, love the way it feels, love the way it controls. So they understand movement and shooting mechanics at this point very well. I just wonder where they're gonna take it. They could do so many things, man. They could kind of like do a new version and make it canon. They could do Dark Forces. Like they could actually make a Kyle Katarn canon now or whatever. Anything can happen. But in terms of a first-person shooter, I would almost like them to go the full bounty hunter route and just come up with their own cool new bounty hunter who is fast and controls kind of like a Titanfall or an Apex Legends character, but has a bunch of other cool new tricks. I'm a broken record at this point, dude, but Prey 2, the original Prey 2 that was canceled, seemed like it was the perfect underground, gritty Star Wars game. If you like the scum and villainy, if you like the bounty hunter shit, that was there. So if somehow Respawn kind of did something like that, put their own spin on that, I'd be about that. And then, of course, there's the next Star Wars Jedi game, Fallen Order 2 or whatever it's going to be called. We're probably going to be hearing more about that this year, probably sooner rather than later. But I think that there's potential there. What are they going to do? Are they going to continue Cal Kestis' story? You see like wrinkles of that story kind of, or at least wrinkles of what they've built there starting to show up in other things in little tiny ways. Not spoiling anything, but I think they got something good going on there with the story, and I just really would like to see where they could take it. They seem like they found a good way of kind of squeezing their way into existing lore and story and timelines without being insane and over the top. And then the Quantic Dream game, Star Wars Eclipse, has, the High Republic thing that they're doing is great. Now, High Republic and the books and stuff, I'm not super up on the new Star Wars books as I used to be with the old Star Wars books, which were incredible. With the new stuff, Claudia Gray, my favorite of the authors of the new Star Wars books, digging some of the comics as well. But with the High Republic thing, I think this game has the opportunity to introduce people to this High Republic. Kind of similar to how, and stop me if you've heard me say this on other shows and stuff, but kind of similar to how Knights of the Old Republic kind of introduced some more mainstream or more casual Star Wars fans to weirder, other like adjacent Star Wars lore. That was kind of like a gateway drug to other people picking up the movies and diving deeper into the expanded universe. So Quantic Dream has the potential to do that again. Just don't screw it up. Then there's the Ubisoft game, which, I mean, the people working on it, I think, are good at building worlds. So like lived in real worlds. So I think there could be something there. Please don't just make it like a games as a service game. Don't just make it like Tom Clancy's this or this games as a service thing in Star Wars world. I don't want that. But, it's like they're probably going to try every single genre. So it's kind of an inevitability at this point if you want to be cynical, but still. Then again, the fact that they're making KOTOR again, I think is wild and pretty unexpected. They're going to change things probably. They're like redoing it. So it's going to be weird. It's going to be contentious, but I'm excited to see what they cook up. And then also I want to put the factor out there that there could be other people working on Star Wars games that we don't know about yet. I think specifically with what I said earlier with like Disney and how Disney has like Marvel and Lucasfilm and all that, like they're starting to get wise of what they have and they're starting to shop it out there and put that out there. There's probably some other stuff in the works that we haven't heard about yet. Call it the Force. I feel something. So while I don't know if we'll ever return to the glory days of having just like so many Star Wars games, what I do like here is that there are more and it's becoming diverse in the sense that it's different studios with different ideas working on different Star Wars subgenres. I think that's important. There's a lot of Star Wars. People come to Star Wars for different things. They come to it for the lightsabers and the Jedis. Some people come to it for the starship battle. Some people come to it for the expanded lore, the scoundrels, the crime. There's Star Wars for everybody, and I'm hoping that the games can again get to that point. And I'm at least feeling good. With the newest news, I wanted to just kind of yap about it. It was a good opportunity. Take a little trip down memory lane, just another opportunity to think about Star Wars Starfighter. The only thing that I think is different this time is that it's further removed from Star Wars, and I think we're going to see more of people trying to, and you see it with the shows and everything. It's a new generation of people making Star Wars, and they want to make their mark on Star Wars. Everybody who gets to work on Star Wars wants to create their own new planet, a new character, a new ship. So we're going to be seeing a lot of new stuff, like in the shows and everything. I don't know if everything's going to hit or click or feel just right like the Star Wars we remember, but I'm open to new ideas, and especially in terms of video games, I'm always just down for new stuff to play. So again, I think Star Wars games are finally getting good again. I think we're going to be eating good, but I also just kind of wanted to yap about this and what I want. There's a part of me that just wants just do it again. Bring back Kyle Katarn. But then there's parts of me that want to see some sort of new cool bounty hunter game, like from Respawn. I don't know. So let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking, because there's so much Star Wars opportunity. Maybe you want to have a game where you just play as Grogu. I don't know. Everybody likes Grogu. I see him on bumper stickers now. It's so weird. But let me know what kind of Star Wars game you would want, like your dream Star Wars game. I don't even know what that would completely be. Maybe I'll save that for another video. But just wanted to talk about this real quick. Playing a lot of games behind the scenes, so I'm a little behind here on this channel, so thank you for bearing with me, but I got a bunch of content coming out soon. So thank you guys for being here. Clicking the like button does help me out if you like just what I do here, just talking about stuff I love. But thank you for being here. I'm Jake Baldino. Subscribe because video games. Pizza's on me.